Tyler Jackson of PlaySheetSports.com here, and I am in beautiful scenic Hinton, joined by Eli Franklin, quarterback of the Summers County Bobcats. Eli, I want to thank you for having me today, and thank you for joining me today. And I want to get into it. Last year coming in, you guys were in a situation where you were thrusting the quarterback, I think, the day before,
Right.
because the previous player who was going to play quarterback decided to leave the team. And I was talking to Coach Pugh. He said, Eli was so nervous, he was struggling to get a play call out of his
Yeah.
mouth in the huddle
Yeah.
sometimes. And this year, he's just noticed a completely different turnaround with you. So, talk to me about the experience of last year and how that helped you and how you've been able to lean on it coming into this season.
Well, last year was a struggle, especially last second hearing it. It put something into me. It was like it just kind of scared me, and I had to focus and I had to be the guy. And it was a struggle first couple games, but after a couple in the year, it started to feel normal. It didn't feel as scary. Everything started to click in the off season. Everything clicked very very quickly.
Now, Coach Pugh said you guys are adopting a little bit of a different identity. There was a lot of running, a lot of wing T last year, and that was out of necessity. This year, you're going to have to air it out a little bit more with the personnel that you have. Talk to me. Have you been able to, settle in and be a little bit more comfortable with that, knowing that the ball's going to be in your hands a little bit
Yeah,
more?
I've watched a lot of film last year, watching myself, seeing the stuff I missed, seeing the stuff that was open. There's a lot of open opportunities, a lot of playmakers I can get the ball to. I got to just get them in their hands and they can make plays.
What was the one thing you kind of noticed the most that you feel like you improved upon?
Uh, well, one, getting the plays in the huddle, but also able to pre-snap defense. What the defense is going to give me. Last year, I was reading was going to know who's going to throw to before the play. Now I can understand what they're giving me and what to expect before the play.
Not even just going through that, but you guys went through a very difficult schedule. I talked to Coach Pugh about it, but I think you had three triple A's.
Mm-hmm.
You had the last two single A state runner
Yeah.
up on your schedule. It was extremely brutal. It was
Mm-hmm.
tough. What did playing against kind of like those bigger, faster guys teach you? Because and it wasn't just that, but also didn't even mention Independence, a team that
Yeah.
played for the state semifinals. So it was
Yeah.
a ridiculously stacked
Yeah.
schedule. What did you learn kind of playing against those guys that it's like it can be a different kind of athlete the higher up you go.
Yeah, there's how it teams. The game goes quicker. Everything is a half a second quicker, and half a second in football is a from a touchdown to a sack. It helped a lot playing those bigger teams last year to help us move quicker when we play, let's say, lesser competition. But teams more on our level, it doesn't shock us as when we play teams like Greenbrier East or Shady.
I know it sounds cliche, but do you think that kind of helped you like slow things down? Because we talk about, the game slows down for somebody after a year or
Yeah.
so. Do you feel like you're kind of in that position now, playing that high level
Yeah,
competition?
it helps. It helps a lot more. The schedule is a little lightened up. It's still a difficult schedule. We still get independence of them on the schedule, but it definitely helps with a lighter schedule. But two, being able to have a whole off season to go for everything and knowing that we don't have to play the Shady Spring or Greenbrier East on that schedule.
Who were some of your teammates that have really impressed you this first couple weeks of camp?
Well, Cody Snavely's impressed me a lot. He's very shifty receiver. He catch the ball in an open field. He can make anybody miss. Our new kid Noah, he is very tall. Can catch anything I throw up to him. I'm thankful for that. And Braxton, he's a very good running back, and he can make anybody miss open field. Offensive line has done great so far.
Gotcha. You guys have small numbers, but that doesn't necessarily mean a lot. There have been teams that have small numbers that go on to do great things all the time. What do you feel like kind of has been the adjustment? And I know it's not you haven't always had a ton, but over the last couple of years you've had maybe 30 kids, and I think it's down to 23.
Yeah.
As a team, how do you feel like you have to go about adjusting to that?
Well, one thing of a better for small teams, more reps for everybody. Bigger teams, the players near the end of the bench don't really get a lot of reps and not a lot of opportunity. Smaller team, everybody gets in, everybody gets better. Everybody's gonna have to play this year, starting from the freshmen up to the seniors. Everybody's gonna have to get playing time, which will help for the future later on. Everybody getting opportunities. Last year we had a very very high senior group. We had almost everybody, starters, seniors, besides basically me. Now we got an opportunity for all these freshmen and sophomores to play, get playing time for the future and now.
And that's a great answer. I really like that. It's very thoughtful. Yeah, I think you're giving this a little bit of thought. So I want to move on a little bit to the expectations for this season. I was talking to Coach Pugh, and he said, seniors got to sit down and kind of decide what they want for this thing. And, it's like, Coach, we do have some difficult games on the schedule, but we think we can get to at least 6 wins, get into the playoffs. Talk to me about the goals and setting them up. Because even though you have a younger team, that doesn't necessarily mean a bad team.
No. Well, I looked at the schedule. I told Coach as soon as I saw it, I said 6 wins. And I truly believe that this team is a very good team, young team that it's ready. They're ready to win games. Last year was a struggle. It was a long season. We lost a lot of players, Tyson Atkins, and there was a very good players for us. And I'm sad they're gone, but these freshmen have a very good, bright future in them, and they're ready to play now.
Absolutely. What do you think's kind of been the most fun part of this whole camp experience outside of the cool weather that we
Yeah,
had the
feels
first weekend today so far?
yeah. Weather has helped us a lot this week. Being around my teammates in the locker room, building up the friendship. I'm glad to be with them. This is you only get this once in a lifetime playing high school football, and I'm sitting here enjoying every single day.
Absolutely. Well, Eli, thank you for taking the time to join me today. Looking forward to seeing the Bobcats in action this year.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a lot of fun. Small but mighty. Thank
Yeah.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.